We're going to do a little walkthrough video of how to set up a cart to fit your horse and be balanced with the adjustments that I build into all my carts. So anybody who's getting a cart from me can do this to fit their pony. And I'm going to try to make it as clear as I can. Okay, you want to have your cart sitting with something underneath the front. I've got a pail and a piece of steel under here. You can use a milk crate or a wood box or just about anything to sit under there, just to hold it up so that the floor of your cart is basically level. This is level here now. So the first thing you want to do is set your shaft width and height. Okay, now this is going onto a 35-inch pony, so these shafts need to be around the 27 to 28 inches. You see that's right at 27 there on that shaft, this side, so that's where we want it to be. Now that is adjusted. If you need to adjust the shaft height, you have to loosen this bolt, loosen this bolt, and loosen this bolt. Just loosen them up, and then you can loosen these two on either side, and then this will slide in and out of here like a trombone. So you can adjust the height of the shafts to fit the height of your horse. If this was going to go on a 30-inch horse, you'd have to drop these down, and this would move back and make that brace shorter. If you're putting it onto a 38-inch horse, you'd have to lift the shafts up, and that would extend this out, and that brace would get longer. It helps to have someone hold that, and then you tighten your two lock bolts down on either side, and then retighten the bolts on either end of the brace and this bolt here on either side. Now the width is adjusted by loosening these lock bolts here at this end. You want, for a horse this size, you want the distance between your shafts to be somewhere around the 13 to 14 inch mark in there, depending on the size of your horse. This right now is set at 13 and a half, but one side is higher than the other. So I'm going to show you how to, with curved shafts, how to get these things set without having to eyeball it and take a guess and go back and forth and pull your hair out. What you do is you use a longer level. Now if you don't have a long level, if you have a short one, you can use a stick across there with your level on it. You see, when I put this across here like this, that reads level. My bubble's right in the middle. And then you put it up here, and it's not in the middle anymore. So what we need to do is I'm going to loosen off these set bolts. Like so. Now I'm going to just snug this up to keep a little bit of tension on there like that. Okay, now right there is level. So now I'm going to just snug this down just a little bit more, like so, to keep it there. Double check. Yeah, we're level. The distance in between, it's right on 13. Now that'll probably work okay. Now the whole cart is going to settle a little bit with a driver in there, so there'd be nothing wrong with turning these out a bit and keeping the shaft height the same as it settles down. But this is all done by trial and error with your particular horse. I like my shafts to run fairly close to the horse, not squeezing them, but I don't like the shaft loops to come out away from the horse. You want them to hang naturally, the shaft loops with the tips in. I'm going to re-tighten this up now. I'll just mention I'm using an adjustable wrench on this because of the textured powder coating that is on these bolts. They're a 9/16 wrench, fits these bolts, but the wrench fits really tight on there with the powder coating added on. Now length depends a little bit on the length of your horse, but I measure from the same point. You can measure from the dash where I'm poking it there. You can go to the shafts, wherever the tape sits comfortably. See, this is at 51 inches to the outside tip, and this is at just a little over 51 to the outside tip, same as the other side. If your horse is a shorter coupled horse, these shafts can go in or out. I recommend if you go to move these, put some tape on here, on one side and this side, masking tape, and put a line on there on both sides. So then you can see that you're turning each side in or out the same amount, and you can measure from that line and put another piece of tape if you want it to go in 2 inches. You know, you can keep track of where they're going. Now the balance on the cart, once you get this all set for your horse with your cart sitting level, then is when you check and set the balance.